This project presents two sheen models that can approximate the appearance of cloth-like surfaces in OpenGL. It is based on the concepts presented in the paper Practical Multiple Scattering Sheen using linearly transformed cosines by Titian-Seltner et al. The proposed model utilized linearly transformed cosines, or LTC, to provide a fast and accurate rendering of these complex lighting effects. The first implementation uses a pre-computed lookup table for the sheen, while the second implementation obtains the cosine value for each fragment and applies a continuous function to transform it. First, we are going to see the effects of the model proposed by Seltner et al. In the simple scene. We have several different parameters that we can change. First of all, the light intensity, the cloth color, and the roughness and specular for the RTC. Secondly, we can change the alpha and sheen parameters of the cloth. By doing this, we can see how the appearance of the material changes, giving the impression of being different types of cloth. For example, this combination does a very good job at simulating velvet. And if we bring the values a little bit down, it looks more like velveteen. Or for example, we can reduce a little bit the roughness and increase the specular, and it will look more like a synthetic material. Let's now see this same effect on the complex scene. We can see here again how the material changes, and with it the sensation of the texture. It really gives the impression that the fabric first was very flat and then it becomes something softer, something with more fibers sticking out. Here again with this color and these parameters, it really looks like velvet on the table. Let's change again the color of the material to see different effects. Next, let's see the second sheen model we have implemented. This is a simpler approach, but it also gives good results in simulating a cloth with a more global illumination. Here, for example, the cloth looks very much like velvet itself. Again, here we can change the parameters as we please. This value here is definitely too high for a realistic appearance in this scene. And this one is quite low, but it could be useful for simulating suede, for example, or the inner side of leather. And this combination here, for example, makes no sense at all for a realistic appearance, but the model allows it. But playing around with these parameters, we could also get something more similar to silk. Let's see again these values for other colors to see how they look. Like we did before, let's go see how the shader looks in the more complex scene. We can see that it works very well in simulating a velvety fabric here. Here, this one might be a little bit too high, but it looks like a soft material, like something that has fibers in it. In addition, as the original authors mention, it is possible to use sheen models to simulate dusty surfaces. Here I have done that in the sewing machine, using the Y component of its normal to scale the sheen. We can clearly see here on the upper part of the sewing machine that it looks like it's dusty. When I try to modify the parameters for the sewing machine, it also modifies the cloth because both are connected to the same uniforms, but this could be separate uniforms for each.